This is Pride. It's a parade, it's a statement.
Are you out in the military? How does that work?
Not yet, but now I am, so congrats.
And it's a celebration. And for the LGBTQIA plus community, it's been a chance to fight back, to protest, and to demand equality in a visible celebration of who we are. For over 50 years, the LGBTQIA plus community has united every June to amplify our voices. Now, in the 2000s, it's a celebration of rights that have been won, but it's also a platform to highlight the work that is still left undone. This is the evolution of the Pride Parade. The first documented modern-day gay rights organization was founded in 1924, but one of the first gay rights demonstrations didn't organize until 1965.
President of the United States.
In 1953, former President Dwight Eisenhower identified gay men and women a threat to national security, so he signed an executive order banning them from federal government jobs. Here, you see Americans protesting on behalf of gay workers in 1965.
Policy of the department is that we do not employ homosexuals knowingly, and that if we discover homosexuals in our department, we discharge them.
By the mid-20th century, the gay rights movement was just beginning. Another demonstration took place in 1965 in Philadelphia, again protesting hostility from those in power. The demonstrators wore formal attire as a way to almost say, we are just like you and we deserve the same respect. As the fight marched on, protests and demonstrations remained small in size and voice.
We're only talking about, a couple of hundred people who had the guts pre-Stonewall to stand up and do or say anything.
Police raids on bars where gay patrons would gather frequently were common in New York City.
Everybody just got sick and tired of being sick and tired and said, this is enough. They're not taking it anymore.
Raids became so frequent that it caused major tension between police and the gay community. Then, on June 28, 1969, in Manhattan, history would be made at the Stonewall Inn. Police raided the gay bar, but this time, the patrons inside, they didn't back down.
What distinguished Stonewall is that people fought back.
They barricaded the police inside of the bar, and they gave the police a sample of the treatment they had been subjected to for years.
So by the time they were calling for backup, it was a little late, and everybody was like emptying the bars and taking to the streets.
The riots lasted several days. It's believed that Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, two transgender activists, led the resistance. Few media outlets covered the violence at the time, and reports vary on what happened and how many people exactly were there. But this part is clear. It was a monumental rebellion. The incident at Stonewall galvanized and mobilized the gay community toward a unified mission. 1 year later, the raids of the Stonewall Inn became memorialized as a watershed moment in the fight for gay equality. On June 28, 1970, community activists organized the Christopher Street Liberation March in celebration of what was considered the revolt against the New York City Police Department. And that one-year anniversary march became the first Pride Parade.
At first, I was very guilty. And then I realized that all the things that are taught you not only by society but by psychiatrists are just to fit you in a mold. And I've just rejected the mold, and when I rejected the mold, I was happier.
It was a brave demonstration for its time, marching without a permit for about 50 blocks through Manhattan. That parade has continued ever since, evolving over time.
Hundreds of thousands of people marched in cities across the country.
With our numbers, with our strength, the numbers you can see forming here, we are showing that we are 20 million strong in this country.
To all politicians all over the world, gay is coming and it's coming strong.
Leaders of the gay rights movement have had different faces. The messages have changed over the years. And in 1978, it had a brand new symbol of identity. Up until the late 70s, the gay community was symbolized publicly by an inverted pink triangle. It's a shape and color that was said to be used by the Nazis in concentration camps to show who among the prisoners was gay. The symbol was later reclaimed by the gay community as their way to be visible. Gay activist and former San Francisco supervisor Harvey Milk asked artist Gilbert Baker to reimagine that symbol with something else, anything else. Baker created the first rainbow flag.
Flags are about power. Flags say something. You put a rainbow flag on your windshield, you're saying something.
Those rainbow flags are now ubiquitous symbols of unity and equality and pride, and you'll find the rainbow flag waving proudly at pride parades around the world. The parade, too, embodied celebration and activism through the years. At times, people marched in the parade to raise awareness around HIV and AIDS and to demand marriage equality, a right guaranteed to straight Americans but denied to gay citizens until very recently.
President Bill Clinton signed a bill making it federal law that marriage consists of one man and one woman in the United States.
I'm not for gay marriage. I think marriage is a sacred institution between a man and a woman.
What I believe in my faith is that a man and a woman, when they get married, are performing something before God.
But former President Barack Obama's view on same-sex marriage, like many other politicians, evolved with time.
Today, he became the first president to ever say this.
It is important for me to go ahead and affirm that I think same-sex couples should be able to get married.
A few years later, a breakthrough.
The Supreme Court and this landmark ruling, the court making same-sex marriage legal in this country across every state in this nation.
By the power recently vested in me by the state of New York, I now pronounce you married. Congratulations.
The activism, the parades, the trading punches with oppression, change was happening.
The actions and the laws were discriminatory and oppressive, and for that, I apologize.
Now, global brands, celebrities, and even politicians have joined the movement as allies. Today, in the contemporary era of increasingly normalized gay life, Pride celebrations are now at the crossroads of gender, racial, and sexual identity conversations.
The evolution of Pride is a story as rich in diversity as America is. And I think this moment where we are seeing Pride intersecting with Black Lives Matter and a call for racial and social justice across this country for our black and brown brothers and sisters symbolizes everything that was fought for back in the 60s and has continued to be fought for through today.
The reality is you can't be pro-LGBT and not be anti-racism, because the mothers of this movement were a group of brave, black, trans women.
While Pride has looked and sounded differently through the years, the message has remained the same. Equality for all. Love is love.
Supporting LGBT people inherently means supporting all Americans. We are women, we are people of color, we are people with disabilities, we are veterans, we are immigrants. LGBTQ Americans are what have always and will always make America great.
In order for the progress and the momentum to continue, we have to have unity.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.